Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Z. We're going to go ahead and get started with our warm up on with our chin tucks and our head turns like usual. Okay, so this is just 4 repetitions of 10. Okay, we're going to go ahead and lengthen through our spine, sitting up nice and tall, and we're just going to tuck back for 10, 9, 8. Sorry, guys. Look at that. Let me fix you real quick, and we'll get right back to it. Sorry. Okay, here we go. We'll start over. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Now maintaining that length through the spine, we're going to turn, come back to center, and now turn in the other direction and come back to center, okay? Turn, 3, turn, 4, turn, 5, turn, 6, turn, 7, turn, 8, turn, 9, and turn, 10. Okay, going on to our time format for the remainder of our warm-up. We're going to start with our cat-cow. So again, you can be seated right at the edge of your feet, hands here, okay, arching and tucking, or you can stand up and place either your palms or even your knuckles. If you have sore wrists, okay, maybe coming to your knuckles is a better alternative, okay? So we're going to do 30 seconds of that, all right? And I'm going to guide you through the other exercises as we go through them. Here we go in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go ahead and arch and tuck. So we're around. I really think of getting your spine to move. All right, especially we've been laying down all night. Okay, this is really good movement to wake the body up. Remember, this house is our spinal cord. So it's really important to take good care of our spinal health, keeping it mobile. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Next, we have our 4 count cherry pickers. Nothing new. So our feet are about shoulder width apart, and we're going to reach out, middle, in, and then up. Okay. Looks the same seated. Here we go. Out, middle, in, up. Okay. So you pick which variation works better for you, and move at a pace that's good for you. Okay. You are moving up and down, so if you feel like it makes you dizzy, maybe go to the seated position if you're standing, or slow your pace down, okay? But we're warming up our hinge, our hips, and the back of our body. And time. Good. Next, we're going to do a roof raise with a heel tap, okay? So we're going to tap our heel and raise the roof here, okay? So this is our next move here. If you're seated, boom, 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 okay? So either or, whichever one you want to do. I'll just stay seated for the rest of this one. Feel the shoulders warming up. Mine are burning already. That's only round 1. Okay, 5 more seconds here. 2, and 1. Okay, next we have our cross-body twist. So if you're seated, we're twist, twist, twist. You're really going to feel a nice thoracic stretch, like right through your rib cage here. If you're standing, you have a little more of a pivot on that back foot, just because of the nature of being on your feet here. Seated and standing both feel wonderful. Sometimes the seated, I feel it even more, to be honest with you, just because your hips are staying forward. You feel more of that twist through the upper body. 5 more seconds here. And then our last exercise in this circuit is going to be seal jack. So right here or seated. Okay, in 3, 2, and 1, here we go. You can add a couple regular jumping jacks in there if you're advanced, okay? Think of your shoulder blades pulling your arms back, okay? Think of the shoulder blades as pulling everything back. You're getting a nice stretch through the front of the body, through the front of the chest and shoulder, as your shoulder blades pull the arms back. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, back to the top. Round 2, we've got 2 more rounds to go through of this. Okay, so we're starting with our cat-cow, seated or standing again, either on your knuckles or your palms, okay? Here we go. You're not forcing your body to go further than it wants to go, but you are really trying to create that movement, right? Stay focused and present. And think about what your spine is doing as you're flexing and extending it. Super healthy. We're going to go into our 4-count cherry pickers next. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Seated or standing. Just have a little space between your feet here, about shoulder width apart. Okay. I'll do it from a side profile this time. Here we go. Outwards, middle, in, up. Okay. We're warming up our hip flexors. And if you're standing, especially, you're going to feel it a lot in the back of your legs, your hamstrings. Five more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Good. We're going to go back to that roof raise with that alternating heel tap, seated or standing. Okay. I want you to remember this move because this is going to be a sub move for later on in the routine if the exercise I have selected is too intense for you. Okay. So think about, you know, this move right here when I refer to it again later on. Whew. That kind of sent up and down with the arms is kind of like a little more exhausting than it looks, isn't it? All right, time with that one. Okay, next we have our seal jacks again. Okay, so back out to the side with a tap. If you're advanced, you might do a couple regular, but that's only if you feel really strong. Okay, you can do these seated as well. Whew. When we're done this exercise, we go through it one more time, okay? 3, 2, and time, okay? Final round through here, cat-cow, seated or standing. Whew. Take a breath, right? Get a drink if you need it, okay? Here we go. Final round through. Everything we're doing now is the last time in this circuit. Good. 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Final round of our 4-count cherry pickers, either seated or standing. Feet are about shoulder width apart. Okay. And here we go. We're reaching outwards. We're reaching in the middle and then inwards. Up. 2, 3, 2. Say a 4-count. 1, 2, 3, 3. Good. 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, all done with those. Moving on to our roof raises. I think I missed one last time with our crossbody twist, didn't I? I did. So yeah, we're gonna roof raise right now. Do the crossbody twist is next. So I'll add that one in next. But I just looked down. I'm like, wait a second. Woo. I feel my body temperature going up on these. Okay, you can even adjust your pace. If my pace is too much, right? You could do something like that. All right, next one, cross body twist, what I missed in round 2, okay? Here we go in 3, 2, 1, seated or standing. Just think of that nice rotation through the rib cage and spine. It should feel kind of like a massage for your back. I don't know how I missed this one because it's probably one of my favorites, to be honest with you. Whew. 5 more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Seal jacks are next. All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. All right, you can toe tap it out to the side like I'm doing here, seated or standing, or if you're standing and you want to do a heel, see that now I'm not tapping and touching the floor. I'm coming up with my heel, okay? Either or, it feels good, a couple regular ones. This one challenges your balance a little bit more because you're, putting all your weight on one leg at a time, where the other one you kind of kickstand. And time. All right, guys, there is our warm up. Let's go ahead and get a drink and I'll explain our first round. So like I said, I want you to remember this root phrase, right? What we just did there in our warm up, that's your alternative move for our curl and press, okay? Because sometimes overhead pressing, especially with weight, is not good for, certain individuals and their shoulders, okay? So if that's the case, you're going to just work on some range of motion, some body weight. You can even kind of press it forward a little bit if the overhead, you see that? So instead of being straight overhead here, I'm a little bit forward. And sometimes that's a little more comfortable if your range of motion is not great in your shoulder, okay? So otherwise, seated or standing, we're going to take our weights, our water bottles, whatever it is you have, and we're going to curl and press it, okay? After that, we are doing our dumbbell low punches, okay? So standing, boom, 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 boom. Feeling that nice little rotation. Looks very similar seated, okay? After that, we have our ITY hinge. We just started with this last week, okay? So my thumbs are up. I'm going to hinge forward, thumbs up to I, thumbs out to T, thumbs out to Y, okay? And then stand it up or come back up, okay? So from our standing variation, it's hinge, thumbs up to Y, thumbs out to T, I, and thumbs out to Y, okay? And then stand it up, okay? So we're gonna stand up in between. And then our last one is our plie or sumo squat. Seated, you're doing our standard lateral tap to leg extension, okay? This is your seated variation, which I'll do in round 1. And then your standing is holding onto the back of your chair. Pretend my chair is in front of me. If you need it, you may not need your chair, okay? And then you can use weights or keep it body weight. My toes are facing outward towards the corners of the wall, okay? And if I'm holding the chair, I'm coming down almost all the way up. Remember? Down, almost all the way up, okay? So from the side, what that looks like is down, almost all the way up. This keeps tension on your legs and your glutes. If we do this, you lose the muscle tension, okay? So down, almost all the way up, all right? Down, almost all the way up, okay? So that is our 4 exercise circuit. It's 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest. We're going to start with our curl and press. Round 1, I'll do everything seated, but you choose which variation is better for you, seated or standing. And remember, if curl and press does not work for you, you can go back to your roof raise right here, okay? All right, so here we go. In 3, 2, and 1, let's curl and press, or roof raise, whatever works. I'm gonna curl, press, bring it back. Remember, if you're standing, I want you to think of keeping your glutes engaged, all right? You're squeezing your glutes. It's gonna help protect your lower back as you're lifting weight over your head. We're getting a pull movement with the bicep curl and a push movement with the overhead press. Good. About 10 more seconds here. 5, 2, and 1. Okay, our next exercise is our dumbbell low punches, okay? Not a new move, just putting it in a different order, okay, to make it feel fresh, but still working on those same patterns. So seated or standing, we've got a nice wide stance, right? And we're punching in towards the floor, kind of like pretending you're punching a pillow back and forth. Little bit of intensity because it's a little bit quicker than our regular rows per se, but still working the same muscles. You could always, if you have weights and it starts to feel too intense, you could always just get rid of the weights, finish at body weight. Good. Woo. 10 more seconds. 5, 2, and 1. Okay, next exercise, we're gonna put our weights aside if you have them, and we're going into our hinge ITY pattern, okay? So I'll be in a seated position, so I'm going to hinge over seated, keeping the length in my spine. Ready? Here we go, we're gonna hinge, thumbs up to I, thumbs out to T, and thumbs out to Y, and then up, okay? Use the glutes to bring yourself back up, all right? 2, 3, squeeze the glutes to lift up. Excellent posture exercise and shoulder mobility exercise. Up, back down. 5, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, our last one in this circuit is our sumo or plie squat. Okay, so remember, if you're standing, you're nice and wide, toes are out. You only come almost all the way up, okay? All right, here we go. Ready? Begin. So the seated is a lateral tap, leg extension. All right. And when I extend my leg here, I like to flex my foot because that helps me get deep into the muscles in the top of my leg here. Okay. When we come out to the side, we're working our abductors and adductors, which would be like a inner thigh and also side glute area. Ten more seconds here. 3, 2, and time. Okay, back to the top. All right, we've got 2 more rounds. So I'm going to move to standing, but stay seated if that's better for you. Curl and press is our first one. And remember, your alternative is that warm-up move. We did that roof raise, and you can always come out in front of you if you need to. Otherwise, here we go. Okay, I'm squeezing my glutes, creating a nice strong foundation with my body to move these dumbbells, okay? Giving myself some leverage. Ten more seconds here. Curl and press. Bring it back. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, dumbbell low punches are next, all right? So again, nice wide base so we have room to kind of hinge over here, right? See my hinge here, my spine, I'm not rounding, right? I'm staying nice and neutral here. And we're gonna go ahead and punch, punch, punch. Make sure you're breathing through it. Should feel like those muscles right around the rib cage in the back, kind of moving, working. Heart rate goes up a little bit. You might feel your body temperature going up. And remember, a little bit of intensity and exercise discomfort's okay. You know, it's that acute pain, any kind of sharp or pinching feelings that you want to avoid. You know, you need to modify or take a break if you start to feel anything of that kind of discomfort. Woo. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Weights aside if you got them. Take your drinks as you need them. Okay. You don't have to wait until we're done the block if you need a drink. Okay. ITY with the hinge. Thumbs up. Okay. I'm going to show a profile view here so you can see it's my hips push back. Ready? Here we go. Hips push back. Okay. Thumbs up to I. Thumbs out to T. Thumbs in the middle to Y. Squeeze the glutes to stand it up. Right back down. I. T. And Y. Squeeze. Find your rhythm. Squeeze. Good. 10 more seconds of this. Then we're going to go into our sumo squats or those plie squats, whatever. Either way, they're the same. 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right. So your plie squats are next. You can hold on to the back of your chair. If you're advanced, you may even just do this body weight, okay, or without holding on to anything. Your feet are outside your heels, right? Your shoulders, your toes are out, right? I'm going to lower and then come almost all the way up, right? And as I press up, I'm thinking of pushing my heels into the ground. That's going to help me engage my glutes, okay? And the more you push the floor away with the heels of your feet, the more you're going to feel that engagement in your glutes, as well as your inner thighs too. Remember, your seated variation is your lateral tap to leg extension. Woo, I'm feeling these. We got 10 more seconds here, and then we're going to go through it one more time before we move on to the next circuit. 2, and 1. All right, one more time through. Remember, get your drinks if you need them. I need one right now. You don't have to wait until the block is over, okay? Curl and press, seated or standing, or your roof raises for the final time. Here we go. If you're standing, glutes are engaged. Bicep curls, shoulders, okay? That's what we're working. And think about how this translates into everyday life, okay? Movement patterns like this. You're picking up a basket and putting it on a tall shelf, right? I mean, these are things that we do daily, you know? So it's kind of like that whole use it or lose it. Let's keep those joints and that blood flow going so that things don't become too challenging over time because we're consistently doing it. Whew, and time, okay. Going back to our dumbbell low punches, okay? So, feet are right outside the shoulders here. Okay, we're nice and low, neutral spine, boom. Think of this, how this translates to everyday life. So you have a garden, right? And you got to bend down and you got to pull out a tough weed, right? Sometimes, because some of those weeds, if they get big enough, they're hard to get out, right? Think about how this movement kind of replicates having to do, daily activities, pulling something up off the ground, right? We use our back muscles to do that, and we stabilize with our lower body and core. Whew. 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Okay, get your drinks if you need it. I'm feeling it today, guys. ITY with our hinges next, okay? Thumbs up, seated or standing. Remember, it's not about our head going forward. It's about our hips pushing back, okay? Here we go. Hips push back, right? Thumbs up. I, T, Y. Squeeze the glutes up. Back down. I, T, Y. And you move at your own rhythm. And squeeze. Up, back down. 10 more seconds. 5, 2, and 1. Okay, final one in this set, guys, is our sumo squat or plie squat. Okay, so feet are outside the shoulders, the heels, toes are facing either way. Okay, let's do your profile here. All right, and we're gonna push the hips back, squeeze almost all the way up, right? What am I doing with the heels of my feet? I'm pressing them into the floor as I lift up. That's going to help us make that mind muscle connection into the glute. Remember, you can hold on to the back of your chair if you need to. I want you to really focus on that squeeze. Ten more seconds, and then we're going to break. Okay, that'll be our first 12-minute block. Our warm-up was a 10-minute block. Actually, it was 9.5 since I forgot an exercise and time, guys. Okay, take a break, get a drink. Whew, I'm feeling it today. So, little recovery time as I explain our next block. Reverse lunges. Yep, I got some reverse lunges today. Okay, so let me start with your seated variation. Is our seated leg press. So I'm sitting closer towards the edge of my chair, so I have room for my body to lean back. I'm holding onto the side of my chair, either the arms or just the sides. And remember, I'm pressing something heavy away with the heel of my foot, and then I'm coming to the other side. You're gonna feel your legs work. You're gonna feel your core work because you're kind of like leaning back like that. That's your seated variation. You're standing, okay, and you may not need the chair, but it's always there for support, especially if you're not confident. Okay, it helps to have something to make you feel confident in your ability to move that way. So we're gonna remember it's kind of like a 4 count. Back, down, drive it up, return, back, down, drive it up, return. Okay, so the leg that you're working, remember, is the front leg. You may feel work in that back leg, but right here, when I lower down, I'm driving through that heel again. I'm connecting my mind to these areas of my leg. Okay, so after that, single arm rows. Okay, if you're standing, you can use the side of your chair here. Okay, split stance, boom, boom. Okay, if you're seated, we're just going to kind of lean over here, boom, boom, okay? If that's too much, you can even come right here, okay? All right, and then that's for each side. And then we have our lateral 2-step with that external rotation in knee. Okay, so we've been doing this one. Tap, tap, knee, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Another 12-minute block. We're going to start with our alternating reverse lunges. Or if you're with me seated right now, we're going to do the alternating seated leg press, okay? I'm at the edge of my chair. I'm going to scoop back. Ready? And begin. Here we go. Lunges are the hard ones. Whether you're seated or standing here, these are a big ticket one right here. Remember, it's good to train our limbs individually from one another, meaning like a lunge or a leg press like this, versus our squat, because our stronger side is not able to assist our weaker side. So it closes the gap on some imbalances we may naturally have in our body. Imagine you're pressing something really far away if you're here seated with me, really heavy away. The heel of that foot, we've got 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Single arm rows are next. So if you're standing, you can put your hand on the back of your chair. You can split stance and row. If you're seated with me, you can come right here. You can rest your elbow here. Or if that's kind of just uncomfortable, you can just stay upright a little bit more and pull back. The important thing is we're thinking of this area right here. That's the area we're working, okay? That's the prime mover. And your elbow stays closer to the body. And you're trying to squeeze that area I was just touching, right? Even though you see your arm moving, it's the back muscle that's really making this movement happen the most. The arm is secondary. So some unilateral work in this block here with the legs and the arms and the back. Good, almost there. 5, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we're going to do the same thing just on the other side. All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Pull back. Okay, again, that area in the back of the rib cage there, that's your lat. That's what we're trying to connect our mind to, that mind muscle connection I talked about. The more you develop your mind muscle connection, the better, the more quality of a muscle contraction you're going to get. Okay. And again, that doesn't happen overnight. It happens with your consistency. So don't feel frustrated if you don't feel it immediately. It takes time. Whew. And time. Okay. Last one in this circuit is our lateral 2-step with our shoulder external rotation and then that opposite knee. Remember, this is kind of like our little cognitive pattern here, okay? I'm going to do the seated variation. So I'm going to tap, tap, opposite knee. We're keeping those elbows close to the body so we get good rotation through the shoulder joint. Again, this helps with good posture, healthy posture, and shoulder mobility. And time. Okay, that was round 1. So we are going back to the top. Either you're seated, alternating leg press. I'm moving to standing, so I'm going to be doing the reverse lunge option here. Okay, so I'm going to hold the back of my chair for stability and peace of mind. I'm going to step it back. I'm going to lower down, drive through that front heel, return. Other side, back, down, drive it up, return. I want you to think, when you step that leg back, are you making sure that there's space between the right and left leg, right? You don't want to be like, if you think of railroad tracks, you want each foot to be on either railroad track. You don't want them both on the same track, right? Because you're gonna throw your balance off, and it's going to become harder to focus on the muscle contraction. And time. Okay, back to those single arm rows. It's either seated or we can split stance right here. Okay, here we go. In 3, 2, and 1. I'm pulling back. I'm thinking of that leg. Okay, again, that's right here. Okay, that's where I'm telling my mind's like squeeze right there. Okay, the arm's doing work too, but we want to know where it generates from. Okay. And I can tell you to do stuff all day, but if you don't know the reason behind it, I don't feel like you can get as much out of it. So I do like to try to put some reason behind why we do what we do. Some reason of what it is we're actually working as well. Sometimes we don't know, you know. And time. We know we should do it, but we don't know why, right? Sometimes that's the case, all right? So let's go ahead and even out on the other side. All right, so I'm going to split stance myself. All right, I'm holding onto my chair here. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull that elbow back, okay? I'm keeping it close to the rib cage. I'm telling my back muscle to work. Pull that up. Let me just imagine, this is what I want you to think of. Imagine that there was some kind of like there was a well and there was some kind of heavy bucket or something, some kind of rope you had to pull up, okay? Your arm strength would not be enough to pull that up. You have to involve your back, okay? So you can see why there's that direct connection in this movement. It's like, but my arm's moving, but my back is working. But yeah, it's true. And time. Okay, so back to our lateral side step or lateral tap for 2 with that external rotation and opposite knee. I'm keeping my elbows right up against my ribs here, okay? My waist, ready? And it's step together, knee. Working on these little external rotators in the shoulder. Think about that in the front of the shoulder there, right in the front, how if that muscle, that tiny little muscle, oops, wrong knee, is really tight, how that's going to round your shoulders forward, right? Because that tight muscle is pulling them together. 5, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. One more time, guys. And get your drinks as you need it. Either you're alternating reverse lunges or you're alternating seated leg press for the final time, okay? You can hold on to your chair if you need that support there. Step it back, lower down, drive it up to here, and return. So putting the weight in the heel of my foot to help get my glutes to activate. Good. Past halfway. Ten more seconds of this. 5, 2, and 1. Okay, single arm rows again, all right? So split stance if you're standing here. If you're seated, you can kind of just lean forward like this on your chair, or you can sit a little more upright if that feels more comfortable, okay? Single side, ready, begin. Again, or we're trying to get that really big, during our lifetime, we've all had one of those weeds that just gets so long and out of control that the root is longer than the weed that's showing. Think about how hard it is to pull that out. Woo. You got to put some back into it, as the saying goes, right? Ten more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, all done with that side. Got to even out. All right. So we're going to set ourselves up on the other side here, whether you're seated or standing. Okay. Here we go. In 3, 2, and 1. Pull that elbow back and up. Good. We just have one more exercise after this. We have that lateral 2-step with our shoulder external rotation and that knee raise. And then we're on to our final block. Three, 2, and 1. Okay. So grab your weights, your water bottles, or just body weight here. We're staying in that 90-degree bend through the elbow there. Okay. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. tap together, tap together. Past halfway. Good, last 10 seconds. The rest after this. 3, 2, and 1. All right, guys, rest, get a drink. Last block, and it's our shorter one, okay? It's 30 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. It's going to be 3 exercises we've been doing, but I just switched the order up a little bit here. So we're still doing our cross body punches, okay? Kind of very similar to our warm-up move, but now remember, what we're doing is we're keeping our fists here in front of our face, like protecting our face from punches, right? And we're always bringing it right back there. Okay, so you have a direct line, like a track that your fist and arm are following versus it being a little more just kind of like loose. You're going to get more of a muscle, mind-muscle connection out of that. Okay, you can put a little more power behind that. So that looks the same seated here. Okay. And I'll do round 1 seated like usual. Okay, so maybe a little less pivot in the foot because you're seated, but you know, otherwise it looks the same. The next one is our tricep kickback and ham curl that we have been doing, but it's in a different order. So you can grab your weights for this, okay? And we're coming up, kick back. If you're seated, it's like a toe tap back, right? Your toes tap back because of the nature of being seated. If you're standing, it is a heel kick back. Your heel's coming up towards your glute, okay? So that's exercise 2. And then the final one is our speed skater. So standing, tapping behind. If you want to advance it a little bit, you can keep that back leg lifted and put a little hop in there. Or if you don't want to, just keep that toe tapping behind the opposite leg. And then level 1, our seated position, we're just swinging. Oh wait, no, that's fine. Swing. So I'm just tapping behind the leg again. Okay. All right. So round 1, I will do seated. This is only 6 minutes long here, guys. Okay, but it'll feel intense because we have less rest time and more conditioning. So you know, assess yourself here. So we're going to start with those alternating cross body punches, seated or standing. Remember, those knuckles always come right back here. Okay. Let's get ready. In 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Boom, boom. So we hit our target, we punch our target, and then we bring it right back to in front of our nose. Those arms are staying on track. Good. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, optional weights here. We've got our tricep kickback with our hamstring kickbacks, or if you're seated with me, we're kind of like toe tapping back. So you should feel your arms really working on this one. When I get to that elbow extend, I squeeze my triceps. I think about that, you know, I think squeeze. Again, mind muscle connection. The weight increases the intensity, so if it's too much, you can always get rid of the weight if you have it. And time. Last one, speed skaters, okay? So remember, we're tapping that leg behind. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Woo, halfway. I'm going to go back to the top. Last 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, back to the top. I'm gonna move to standing variations. If you're seated and you wanna stay that way, please do, okay? Going back to our crossbody punches. I was coming back to right here. Here we go. Even movements like this, like I said, are rotational movements. Think when you put a seatbelt on, you're rotating, right? You gotta go ahead and grab that seatbelt from behind, right? We move in all different directions every day without even thinking about it. And time. Okay, tricep kickback with the hand curl kickback. Remember, if you're seated, it's more like a toe tap back, okay? I'll show from the profile. Here we go. When my elbows are long, when they're extended, I'm talking to the back of my arms. I'm saying squeeze, contract. Triceps have a lot of, we have different kinds of muscle fibers in our body. Triceps have a lot of fast twitch muscle fibers. We have fast twitch and slow twitch. And they like some of that explosive movement like that. They have a little more fast twitch in there. Okay, speed skaters. Final one. Ready? Here we go. I want you to think right here, 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 okay? You're not going to feel that much with the seated variation. It's just the, you know, the nature of being seated. But if you're standing, you should be able to feel that a little bit more. 3, 2, and 1. One more time through, guys. All right, so back to our upper body rotation with our cross body punches. Final time through, okay, here we go. Center, center. Ten more seconds. 2, and 1. Okay, tricep kickback with hamstring curl. All right, or if you're seated, you got those toe taps. Woo, ready? And begin. Whew. Less than 10 seconds. 2, and 1, okay. Final exercise, and we stretched out, guys. We got our speed skaters, seated or standing, okay? In 3, 2, and 1, here we go. Nice intensity, looking good. Halfway through this one, we got 15 seconds left. 5, 3, 2, and time. All right. Nice job, guys. Go ahead and get a drink. We'll cool down here, okay? Whew. Okay. So let's start with a seated exercise, okay? We're going to sit down on our chairs, all right? You can grab the back of your chair and just kind of lean forward and feel an upper body stretch in the front of the shoulders here, okay? Put your neck where it feels comfortable, all right? If you can, keep it neutral, but if that gives you discomfort, you have to drop it down a little lower or up a little higher, do that too. All right, getting the front of our shoulders here. Good. And then release that. Now let's get the back of the shoulders here, okay? And visualize that shoulder blade kind of pulling away from the spine. All right, think of that stretch right in there. Okay, think about how those muscle fibers are lengthening right now. Okay. Same thing other side. All right, pulling the shoulder, and I'm pulling it in and down. Okay, I'm not bringing it up here, right? I'm going in and down. Okay. Nice deep inhale and exhale. Excellent. All right, from here, let's go ahead and do our neck and trap. We'll press and pull. Should feel good right through here. One of my faves. And back to center. Same thing, other side. And back to center. Now let's go ahead and lateral bend it. So I'm going to reach up and over. I'm going to feel this nice stretch. You could do this standing as well. All right, if you want to add a little more to it, you can always grab onto that opposite wrist and pull it upwards. It's just an option. You don't have to. Whatever feels right. And then let's go ahead and switch it to the other side. All right, nice stretch to the side. You can add that extra little pull if you want. And good. And now we're going to go ahead and rotate through the body. So I'm just going to arc it up and over. And I'm going to put this is my left hand on the outside of my right thigh as I look behind my right shoulder. And then I'm just going to go ahead and arc it over to the other side here. And then our final stretch is going to be a forward fold. So if you're able to stand, you're going to put your hands on the back of your chair here and fold forward. If standing is not a good option for you, I just want you to round and stretch out your lower back and back by just rounding over in your chair like so and holding. Otherwise, standing's okay. You're right. Where am I at? Right here, okay? And I like this one because not only does it stretch out the back of your legs, your lower back, you can even kind of like rock your hips from side to side, but it stretches your shoulders once again. So it's a nice stretch. It targets a lot. Good. And then very gently and slowly roll it up one vertebrae at a time. And then we're going to inhale our hands up, palms together, exhale the heart. And one more time, inhale, palms together, exhale the heart. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed a little bit of a switch up today.